Biden seemed to take the back seat, almost believing he didn't want to do anything that might upset the voters in any way. He was ahead as the front runner. He thought he needed to play safe. That may cost him, especially in Pennsylvania. But clearly from that speech, he is still clinging on to the hope that maybe those postal votes in Pennsylvania will turn in his favor.
Well, I mean, it's still touch and go. And like you rightly said, it's a strategy. I think he wants to preempt President Trump from making a claim of that sort and saying the election is still open.
But what stops Trump from coming in an hour from now, Raj, in the United States and saying, look, we're won?
But he still has to be declared a winner. There is a process that's there. And he's, in any case, president till January, I think, 20th or so, till he hands over the charge.
Till the inauguration day,
Yeah, so in that sense, he's president. Even if he claims he's... but the votes has to be counted. The Electoral College has to cast its vote finally, and that will determine the next president on this. But I think you're right, that President Trump, you know, despite being in some senses, you know, not the front runner as he was, you know, as he should have been, because if you recall, there have been 3 successive presidents who have been re-elected as president, you know, for a second term. So this was his election, if you looked at it. But of course, the pandemic complicated the entire operation that's there. And I think the last push, I think he understood the pulse of the country better, in the sense that there was the economy. Whatever the problems...
A bit like Modi,
exactly.
You know, the last big push, the ability of a strongman leader to convince people that come and vote for me, I'm the man for you.
And I'm, you know, without, of course, you know, casting any sort of claims as to what will be the final outcome of this, let us look at our own India Today poll. At the midst of the pandemic, COVID, Mr. Modi has his highest popularity rating in India. Now, there's something about the fact that there was a belief that he could take India out of the crisis that is there. No other leader in this country. Now, are we seeing a similar phenomenon if Trump wins?
Yes.
I'm putting that as a big if.
I think it's the other way around, Raj. It's
Just let me finish.
It's despite the
One by one. Yes, I'll come to Geeta in a moment. Yes.
So therefore, I think the confidence levels, because at the end of the day, people are saying jobs. What is the pandemic hit the most? It has hit the economy.
So you're looking at the person who can get the economy back on track.
Absolutely.
You think more Americans think that perhaps the economy is safer with Trump rather than a Biden, and that may have made this contest closer.
Yes, because otherwise the other trend was 2 things. One was, of course, COVID and the bad handling of it, and the racial divide, where Biden was stronger, he was seen more as a unifier force, whereas Trump was seen as a divisive
force.
And therefore, you're seeing the balancing out of these 2 major trends that are happening.
And you're also seeing this across America. As of now, except for Arizona, no other state has switched, which almost seems as if America is frozen in time over the last 4 years. But you wanted to make a point, Geeta.
Well, that's I'm saying that the statement that Joe Biden made is positioning, because it is not about who makes the acceptance speech, it's about who concedes defeat.
Yes.
If Joe Biden does not concede defeat, or if Trump, for that matter, does not concede defeat, then it is for the entire election process to be completed. So it's not about the acceptance speech, which is what Joe Biden's messaging over here really is. Having said that, in terms of why the people of America have voted the way they have, it is in spite and despite Trump's mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that's quite something.
Just to stop you, Trump has